What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greg's TV Daily Rewind. It's where we go back a week and talk about all the tech news of the week in one single video. And not only was there tech news this week, but I also shaved. So if you watch a couple of these episodes in this one single video, you're going to end up seeing me shave halfway through the week. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Anyways, guys, besides that, lots of news this week on the Galaxy Note 10. We've seen like broken Galaxy Note 10s. We've seen broken S Pens from the Note 10. We've got news on the credits for the Note 10 if you bought it and pre-ordered it and you got gifts for it and stuff like that. We've got news on the OnePlus 7T and OnePlus 7T Pro as well as Galaxy S11 news is starting to trickle out. So really cool week of tech news. Make sure you watch it. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite news story was, and I will see you in the next one. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus order. If you're still looking to purchase this phone, they still have a semi-sweet deal out there. They're not really giving any free gifts per se, like hardware wise, but they are still giving free gifts. The free gifts they're giving are 4 months of YouTube ad-free, which is AKA YouTube Red, and then our YouTube Premium, I guess they call it now. And then the other one is 6 months of Spotify Premium, which will allow you to play any song in their library unlimited wise. And the other big thing is the trade-in offer. So if you still have a Galaxy Note 9 or an S10, S10e, S10 Plus, you can get $600 on trade-in. So that's huge with some of those phones. So some of those phones aren't even worth $600 if you sell them at this point. So if you still want to purchase this phone, I definitely recommend going over there and checking out their site, seeing what the trade-in offer is, and seeing if you can get a good deal on your phone. This next post comes over from Timmy Testicles, that's his name on a Reddit page, and he posted this photo. I thought it would be interesting because I haven't seen one yet, and it's broken. His Galaxy, it looks like a Note 10 Plus, has been cracked. You can see on the edge there, he cracked his screen. I guess he was not using a case. It's big on him. I don't know if I could, I'm not that brave. Here's a close-up of it a little bit more so you can see how cracked it truly is. I mean, you can still use it obviously, but it definitely takes away from the usage and the being peaceful and the loveliness of this phone. Have you guys dropped your phone yet and has it cracked? I'm talking about the Note 10, Note 10 Plus. Let me know in the comments down below. That's I haven't dropped my phone even in a case yet, so I've been lucky with that, but I definitely do drop my phone, but it's always been in the case. And the last story comes from Ice Universe, and it's about the Galaxy S11. He says the S11 camera will bring something that has never been seen before. Samsung fans, if you care about the camera, please skip the Note 10. Now, obviously, skipping the Note 10 just for the camera might not be a big deal to some people, and because some people want the S Pen or whatever else features that the Note 10 has that maybe the S11 won't, or maybe you just want the Note 10 right now because you will get the S11, but regardless, and we've heard some of this stuff before about the S11 having a better camera. Let's get into the tech news. The first story of the day is about the S Pen, the new S Pen for the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And this guy right here, no S Pen down. And this is, I found this on Reddit, and you can see his S Pen is broken, snapped in half right there. Very sad to see. He said he did it. He said bad snap, took some force to do it. It's my favorite color. How to avoid that again. And I'm gonna give him some good advice. Don't bend it. Why would you like put force in this and bend it? Now he's gotta buy one, but unfortunately it's kind of like hard to find these at this point. So he's probably going to have to wait to get another S Pen, especially if he uses it a lot, you're definitely going to have to wait at that point. So I don't know, have you guys broke your S Pen ever, or have you broke it thus far already with this phone? Let me know in the comments down below. And the last story of the day is if you pre-ordered your phone for the Galaxy Note 10, Note 10 Plus, Note 10 Plus 5G, whatever phone you ordered, that's Note 10 AKA, and you ordered it from August 8th through August 22nd at any point in time, you should still be eligible for the $150 credit that you'll be able to use on Samsung.com, even if you didn't order it directly from Samsung.com. I've seen a lot of people ordering from the carriers, from BestBuy.com, and it was supposed to, I guess, take about 8 weeks for you guys to get that credit, and people are already starting to get it now. I know some of you guys have reached out to me saying you got a credit and you can use it. I've seen it on Reddit. People saying they've gotten the credit and they can use it. So what you can end up doing is you'll end up getting an email you redeem it and you get a special code that you can use as a one-time purchase on Samsung.com. You can buy multiple things, but you have to use it in that one shopping trip. So if you end up using $100 from it, you're only going to end up getting $100 credit, obviously, off that stuff. It's not going to give you an extra $50 off it. So make sure you order stuff that's over $150 or $150 more. That way you can use the full extent of the credit. The other thing to keep in mind is you can't use it on everything. I know people were trying to use it on the Galaxy Tab S6. They couldn't. So you probably can't use it for pre-orders. I don't even know if you can use it for phones and things like that. And I guess it's good until December before you have to use it. So you have a while, but you should be getting it fairly soon, hopefully. And if you did get it, let me know what you purchased with it in the comments down below. Let's get into the tech news. Every single year, at least in the last few years, there seems to be talk of a Google Pixel smartwatch. And this year is no different. And it looks like these are patents that were originally made in 2017, showing off a patent that Google was approved for. And you can see it's a smartwatch, obviously, with a smartwatch camera in the middle of the display. So it looks like possibly, if this ever comes out, that the smartphone watch, or smartwatch I should say, will have a camera that you can take photos with underneath the display. It looks really, really interesting. This would be big too. Think about taking selfies really easily. Scanning your face to unlock the watch, whatever it may be, this could be a game changer. If more information about this comes out, I'll let you know. But remember, Pixel phones and Pixel devices usually are released in October of this year, so we're only a couple months away. Speaking of the Pixel phone, Michelle Rahman put this out saying these images of an alleged Google Pixel 4 just started floating around on Telegram, which is a messaging social media network. No idea of the true source or if they are legit. And when we go into these photos, you can see it shows off what we've been seeing before with the Pixel 4 phone, and it has the cameras and the sensors up top that are going to allow you to do motion gestures to control this phone, which is like a solar thing they got going on. It is running Android Q as well here. And it looks exactly like the Pixel design is what you would expect from it. Not a huge change from last year versus, they did have the notch, but just the front, it looks like a Pixel phone. There's no doubt about it. It's designed that way. And then on the back here, you see the square camera bump on the back there. And then Class 1 laser product, letting you know that there's a laser inside there. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of cool to see this leaked out Pixel 4. If you ordered a Galaxy S10 Plus and it was the Aura Glow color from Samsung, you might have received this email. The email says, "Dear Taran," who sent this over to me, "thank you for ordering the Galaxy Note 10. We are reaching out to inform you of a possible misprint on the packing slip in your order. In some cases, the packing slip indicates silver rather than Aura Glow. Please note that this is only a packing slip misprint rather than a shipping error. The device shipped to you will be the correct color Aura Glow. Thanks again from all of us at Samsung. We hope you enjoy your new Note 10. If you received that email, let me know in the comments down below. I know a few of you reached out to me showing me that. Yeah, just kind of interesting that they had that issue. And the last story of the day is it looks like we're going to end up with 3 different models for the Galaxy S11. Now this comes from mysmartprice. It says exclusive Samsung Galaxy S11 series to have at least 3 5G models. New foldable phone in the works. And they get this because they have the model numbers for these phones, which are SMG 981, SMG 986, and SMG 988, all with integrated 5G connectivity. They also said there's going to be a new Galaxy Fold smartphone, maybe a trimmed down version of it with a version SMF 700F, which the current one that's going to be out is going to be the SMF 900F. Now let's just talk about the Galaxy S11. It makes sense that they're going to do 3 different versions because they had 3 different versions of the S10. They had the S10e, S10, and S10 Plus. I would assume probably they're going to do the same thing at this point, where they're going to have the 3 versions of that phone, a small, medium, and a large version of the phone. And I would also assume that it's just going to exclusively have LTE and 5G built into it. They're not going to have a LTE version and a 5G version. It'll just be one version that houses all the radios that allows you to go on any network network at that point. Makes sense as well. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is you may be looking for new wallpaper for your Galaxy Note 10 or Note 10 Plus. Well, you're in luck because there's a dedicated app in the Google Play Store for it. It is called WallPix Note 10 Punch Hole 4K HD Wallpapers, and it takes full advantage of that punch hole camera at the top of your phone so that you're able to, kind of either hide it or play with it a little bit in the wallpapers. The link for this app is linked down below. It's a free app and it has very good reviews so far. It looks like 5 stars out of 5 stars, 285 reviews. And the last story of the day is about the Galaxy Home. The Galaxy Home is the alternative, the competition to Google Home, to Amazon Alexa, to Apple's Siri devices that they have out there that have these smart speakers that you can talk to and do different things with. Well, Galaxy Home Mini is the mini version of that and is actually a real product and is officially available as a beta thing going on, a beta sign up in South Korea. And this is the page for it down below. If you're in South Korea and you visit my page, I'll link this down below. Even if you're in America or somewhere else, you can visit this page, but you can't sign up for the beta in those different countries. South Korea, you can. Galaxy Home Mini beta program. Samsung smart speakers, Galaxy Home Mini most first experience, be that opportunity. Application period August 28th through September 1st. Now, this is it's kind of broken English because it's translating it from South Korea, or Korean, I should say, to English via Google. So yeah, it says Galaxy Home Mini beta tester benefits. You receive one Google Home Mini beta product for those selected as beta tester. So you'll actually be able to keep the speaker and it will just answer and do, like fun stuff like controlling your smart home, and I would assume as well answering questions about the world and things like that as well. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is the specs for the next OnePlus 7 phone. Now there will be 2 of them. There's going to be OnePlus 7T and OnePlus 7T Pro. We have the specs for the OnePlus 7T at this moment, and they are, as you can see, OnePlus 7T and 7T Pro launching on September 26th in Delhi, India. OnePlus 7T info is 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage. They'll also have an 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage version coming in frosted silver and haze blue. Screen size 6.55 with 2K Super AMOLED 90 Hz display with smaller notch. Snapdragon 855 Plus, so it will be the faster version of the Snapdragon 855 ever so slightly. It's an overclocked version of it. 3800 milliamp battery. The camera is 48 megapixels, 16 megapixels, 12 megapixels, and then 16 megapixels on the front. 960 frames per second, 10-second slow motion video, wide angle video, and nightscape. And here's a quick little look at what it's going to look like on the front and on the back. You have that little notch up there, and which is very similar to the OnePlus 6T. And then on the back you have the little animal looking camera cutout. I don't know, at this point I feel like I would probably just be happy enough with the OnePlus 7 Pro. What are they gonna add in the OnePlus 7T Pro? Because we don't have the specs just for that just yet. I mean, I would assume it's gonna have 12 gigabytes of RAM, which would match some of the versions that are off of the OnePlus 7 Pro. Is it gonna have the same design as this one or a slightly different design? I don't know. And how are they gonna make it that much better, especially with it being so closely released? We'll have to wait and see, but it's kind of curious. I think if you get the OnePlus 7 Pro, I think you'll be completely fine and happy with what you got versus what they're gonna release in the next month or two. And the last story of the day is the release date for the new Samsung Galaxy Fold phone. The Fold phone was supposed to be released months ago and then got delayed because of some issues with the screen, with people peeling off the screen protector because you're not supposed to, and it ruins the actual phone and it makes it so you get error messages and things on the screen. Well, it looks like we finally, at least allegedly, have a release date. This comes from Yonhap News, which is a Korean news agency. And this is translated from Korean, so it might be a little bit of broken English. Samsung's first foldable phone, the Samsung Galaxy Fold, is expected to be released on September 6th in Korea. Now, if this comes out to be true, it's pretty wild. And why is it wild? Because there's really not a huge ton of fanfare that's going on right at this moment. I don't think Samsung's going to announce anything, today, tomorrow or the next day. So you're looking into, if they announce this at all in the next couple of days, it's gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday probably, unless they just, hey, released it, go buy it. It's pretty crazy. There's not a lot of fanfare being put into this. A lot of publicity, it seems like, at this point. The other thing is that they're going to only have 20 to 30,000 units in South Korea available. So if you're gonna wanna buy it over there, you're gonna have to buy it really, really quickly, because I assume it's gonna sell out really, really fast as well. Another thing to keep in mind, when is the American release date? I would assume at this point, even though they usually release these phones, especially in America and Korea and a lot of other countries, at the same exact day, I highly doubt that they're going to release it September 6th here in America. I could be wrong, and maybe they'll just say, here, it's released, your phone's shipping out very, very soon. And if anything changes on that, I will definitely let you guys know. But as of right now, America, there's no news about it. This is only South Korea at this point, September 6th. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is Apple's iPhone event is just right around the corner. They sent out invites the other day showing the following, that by invitation only, please join us for an Apple special event at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino, September 10th, 2019 at 10 a.m. So that's literally what, 2 weeks away, if that. At this point that they'll be announcing the new iPhones, and also you see by the color of the logo, it looks like it's gonna be multicolored iPhones. So no big surprises there, and those are some cool colors if those are gonna come out. The light, the purple, the red. Not a fan of the yellow, the blue, and the green are cool. The other part of this is that they are tipped to do their rollout September 13th for the pre-orders for these new iPhones, and September 20th for the actual release date. So all within 10 days of each other from the launch all the way to the release, you're gonna be able to get this iPhone in hand for you if you're a big iPhone fan. Yesterday we talked about the OnePlus 7T specs. Well, today we have the OnePlus 7T Pro specs, and this comes from Max J, saying that it's going to come with a 6.67 inch 2K 90Hz display, curved screen, 4085 milliamp battery with 30 watt charging, Snapdragon 855 Plus. It'll either come in 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. That'll be the base regular version, but there'll also be a McLaren edition, which will have a slightly different look in terms of the way the colors and stuff, with 12 gigabytes of RAM. And then the camera, 48 megapixel, 16 megapixel, and 8 megapixel. Improved camera software is mentioned above, Android 10. And the look of it is gonna be the same exact look as the current OnePlus 7 that's out. Like I said yesterday, I don't know if it's enough to make you jump for sure. That if you already have the OnePlus 7 Pro, I would just stick with it. If you don't have the OnePlus 7 Pro, then yeah, jump to it. Why not? It's the slightly newer edition of this phone, so why not get the slightly better one? If you watch my daily news show on a daily basis, then you would have seen the show where I talked about the new model of the Galaxy Fold. There was a new model number that leaked out. It's like SM-F700F, and it's supposed to be, at least from all indications, a lesser value, lesser edition of the Fold phone, because that's the 900 edition, the one that we know of, with the 512 gigabytes of storage and the 12 gigabytes of RAM. This one that we're hearing about, exclusive coming from Sam Mobile, is that it's going to have 256 gigabytes of storage and also be more affordable. We don't know exact price. We don't know exact RAM amounts. We don't know if that 256 gigabyte storage is going to be the 2.1 UFS or UFS 3.0. So some things we don't know, but we do know, at least from what they're saying, is that it will have less storage and it'll be 256 gigabytes of storage. I'm assuming if this version is cheaper, it's probably not going to be much cheaper, probably a couple $100, which sounds amazing, but the phone's like $2,000 already, so like $200 off isn't like a huge, amazing deal, especially because it's still gonna be, what, $1,800 if it ends up being that much cheaper at all. We'll wait and see, but I'll let you guys know as more comes out. And the last story of the day is the actual storage amounts for the Galaxy S11 versions. Remember, there's gonna be 3 versions of this phone. There'll be like the small version, the middle version, and the large version. Now the G98 S11 model, which is kind of like the lower end version of the S11, will have 128 and 512 gigabytes of internal storage. The SMG9086, which is the middle version, will come with 128, 256, and 512 gigabytes of storage. And then lastly, the Plus version, the best one, will be the SMG988, And that'll get all three versions of storage, 128, 256, and 512, but also get a 1 terabyte version. One thing that might be removed from this, we don't know yet, is the micro SD card slot. They removed it from the Note 10, but they kept it in the Note 10 Plus. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something similar here. They'll keep it in maybe the Plus version, which obviously won't need it with 1 terabyte, but maybe they will. The other part that's funny about this is that it's gonna have 1 terabyte of storage on the S11 Plus, but we didn't get that with the Note 10 Plus. There's a rumor going around, and I've talked about this and shown pictures of it from Best Buy, is that the Note 10 Plus 5G will eventually have a 1 terabyte version, but still we haven't heard officially from Samsung in regards to that. So it's just kind of weird, some of those things that they're doing with the S11 that they don't give to the Note line, even though the Note line's a more premium and more expensive usual version. I don't know, just kind of weird. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is everyone's favorite kart racing game is soon going to be available on Android as well, and that is Mario Kart Tour. You can register for this, so when it actually gets released, you will be in the know and you'll get a notification and you can download this title. Again, it's going to be the kart racing game from that Nintendo made, ever so popular. It's been in beta before. I know some of you have played it already and really enjoy it. But anyways, I would recommend registering so that when this does become available, you will have it downloaded. Next up, the Chicago Police Department, which we usually don't talk a lot about the police in my videos, has a really cool thing going on with Samsung devices, and that is Chicago Police Department is going to replace their car computers with Samsung decks. So basically you're gonna plug in their Samsung phones and have the ability to be able to run Samsung decks on there to look up information on cars and people and all of that, all with Samsung decks and all with one device. This is very interesting, very cool too. What do you guys think? Do you think that's something that's gonna take off? I can see it going both ways. Like, what happens if Samsung one day is just like, you know what? We're not gonna support decks anymore, we're done with it. They're gonna end up having to use old phones, they're gonna have to switch back to something else. So I can see it going either way with like not working or them not fully going into this all the way, but I don't know, what do you guys think? And the last story of the day is a article that ZDNet put out about the Galaxy Note 10 and when they walked into a T-Mobile store. It says the T-Mobile salesman told me Galaxy Note 10, it just isn't worth it. And to summarize the story a little bit, and you can still read it, and I would definitely recommend reading it, but basically he went into a T-Mobile store and asked about the Note 10 and would it be good for him because he wants something that's good at home and at work. And the T-Mobile guy came back and tried to sway him more towards the Note 10 instead of the Note 10 Plus. And then he asked that guy what phone he had, and the guy said iPhone and OnePlus, and it seemed like he was promoting those phones more than he was the Note 10 phone. And then he finally asked, well, why is anybody else buying the Note 10? He said, yes, it's very popular. And he said, well, why do you think? And he said, because people just want the newest phone so they can show it off. So it's kind of funny. I mean, I've been into these stores and these situations before in my life where you go into a store and you ask them about a phone, even though you might specifically know more about the phone than they do, and you might be more interested in that phone than other phones, but they still try to sway you away and push you in directions and kind of lie to you at times too about that specific phone. Has that happened to you guys? That is your question of the day. When you go into these cell phone stores, you generally ask them, I'm interested in this type of phone, or I want this phone, and then you get swayed another way. Let me know your horror stories in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you guys down the road. Peace!